To KwaZulu-Natal for reaction to yesterday's announcement by President Cyril Ramaphosa to officially recognize AmaZulu King-elect, Prince Misuzulu KaZwelithini as the new leader of AmaZulu. Now, SABC News reporter Vusi Khumalo is about to speak to AmaZulu traditional Prime Minister Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, and we take you there live now. A very good morning to you, Vusi. Thank you so much for joining us. Over to you.
Yes, good morning, Simpiwe. Yes, we are here at Mpangeni. Yes, as you know that the AmaZulu royal family has been embroiled in battle in regarding to the throne. As you know that the Zulu King KaZwelithini Zulu died last year on the 12th of March, and then after that, a month later, his Queen Manfombi Dlamini also died later on. So there was a succession battle. This was perhaps one of the biggest battle in the Zulu royal for the throne. As you know that just early this month or late last month, there was a court judgment that ruled in favor of the KwaKhangela Mankengane palaces. You know that just last weekend the two palaces, KwaKhetho Mthandayo as well as KwaKhangela Mankengane, held two parallel commemorations in honor of the late king. And then just yesterday, President Ramaphosa announced that he does recognize King Misuzulu to take over the reins of the AmaZulu royal. With me is the traditional Prime Minister to the King as well as to the AmaZulu nation, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, who's going to give us their reaction regarding yesterday's announcement. Let me hand it over to him.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the media, for the opportunity you have given to me to make this comment on behalf of the royal family in the presence of the King's personal assistant here, His Royal Highness Prince Tulani, Prince Dutugoyezwe, and the King's adopted son, Umabheka. I think it's a wonderful coincidence that Umabheka, the adopted son of the King, known generally as Mr. Ramluchman, Isha Ramluchman, organized on this day a memorial service to remember the second anniversary of the death of the King. So, on behalf of the Zulu royal family, I welcome the formal recognition of His Majesty King Misuzulu KaZwelithini as the King of the Zulu nation by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, in accordance with the Traditional and Cohesion Leadership Act of 1219. A great burden, in other words, has been lifted from the Zulu nation, and we are able now to move forward. We appreciate the President's wisdom and prudence as the matter of succession was brought before him, and we wish to thank the President as well as the Minister of Cooperative Government and Traditional Affairs, Dr. President Zuma, for approaching this matter with the utmost respect and fairness. His Majesty the King has been fulfilling these duties of his late father with the full support of his subjects. It is necessary, however, that the de facto recognition of the King be formalized through the de jure process so that His Majesty may formally begin his reign. The royal family and the office of His Majesty the King have therefore availed themselves to the President as preparations begin for His Majesty's coronation. As appropriate and traditionally done, a committee will be convened to attend to the necessary arrangements for the coronation. We wish to thank the Zulu nation for displaying such patience and unity in a difficult time of loss. Our nation once again has a king on the throne. Let us rally in support of our monarch and celebrate this moment of victory. As His Majesty begins to reign, may His people stand united behind him. Wena wenju, bayet.
Mtwana, we know that you did say that the plans are still afoot for the coronation. Perhaps what do you have as the royal family, perhaps the dates for that coronation?
No, but we could not actually fix the date because this was announced just last night. In fact, when I spoke to the president last week, I did state that we needed a few weeks to prepare. As I've stated my statement, we'll set up, here is the King's personal assistant and myself, and also Prince Misuzulu, who is also involved in the committee of the royal family. Our intention, the first step, will that we'll set up this committee of the royal family to prepare for the coronation date itself.
As the royal family, did you perhaps hear if there are any attempts to challenge the coronation, especially from the other side led by Prince Mbonisi?
Yes, I saw the statement that was published by Prince Mbonisi saying that they are still going to sit and appoint the king, which is very funny because the king is not appointed, in fact. The king is actually appointed and identified by his father and by our indigenous and customary laws. I don't think that is something that actually people can sit down and decide then to choose whomever they would like to see as their king. So I don't know what they mean by saying that they're going to sit now to appoint a king, because they have no such authority. I don't know who gives them the authority to do that. Because all of us who are heirs in our houses were appointed by our parents, and the processes were done, in fact, even during the marriages of the mother of the heir. I mean, it was known from the time the Zulu nation paid lobola to King Sobhuza II for Princess Mantombi when he was engaged to the king. It was known, once the cattle came from the Zulu nation, it was obvious that the king was contractually bound, therefore, to appoint an heir from that house and not from any house. And that is our custom and indigenous law.
Did you perhaps have had any word with King Misuzulu upon to get his reaction after the president's announcement last night? And how's it?
I mean, this was done last night. I mean, this morning I did, a shower and came down here. Because I was rushing down to attend the memorial service here.
But surely, as the royal family, you
but I did have a meeting with the king. In fact, a few days ago at the Kakangala Gengane, I informed him that I was sending a letter which His Excellency the President had asked me to deliver to him with the signatures of members of the royal family. I did inform him. In fact, he saw the letter himself.
But surely, as the royal family, you are now relieved that even the president did recognize King Misuzulu now.
Actually, because as it is his duty, in fact, to do so in terms of legislation, I think it was very prudent of him to do it immediately. Once there was a court case in the High Court, and also once the royal family had a meeting where they identified the king in May, actually, as early as May. The royal family identified that the king would be Misuzulu KaZwelithini.
Prince Nkosikoana from Newsroom Africa, you say that you are going to need a few weeks to organize the coronation. Can you please maybe, for those South Africans who are not as informed about Zulu culture and tradition, share particular details that have to take place?
Of course, that will be decided by the committee. I can't here just solo alone now decide how it's going to be done, because it's a collective duty which we will do together in the committee.
And who will form part of this committee? Will it just be formed part of royal family members, or will it also involve external stakeholders like representatives of government?
It's inevitable that we will work also with the government, with the provincial government. It's something that we cannot do alone, but we'll do in conjunction with the government, because their coronation ceremony will be a joint thing by the government and ourselves.
And also the coronation itself now, will it precede the cleansing ceremony? Which will come first? Are you still going to do, as the royal family, the cleansing before coronation, which it did previously say that it does take place in June or winter season?
As far as we know, Isambo, the cleansing ceremony, is something that is going to be held in winter. You know, every Zulu would know that such things are not done during summer, that they're actually scheduled during the winter time.
So the coronation will take place after Ihlambo?
Pardon?
So the coronation will take place after Ihlambo, perhaps?
The coronation is going to take place sooner than that.
Thanks. Yes, there's the traditional prime minister to the Zulu monarch and the Zulu nation, saying that plans for coronations are afoot and they will take place just before the cleansing ceremony, which is according to the Zulu customary law. It does take place in June or July, of which that is the winter season. It did previously state that Ihlambo or cleansing ceremony is usually takes place in June or July. But the coronation, as he did say, that it will take place before that ritual, according to the Zulu customary law.
All right, Vusi, thank you so much for that update. Vusi Khumalo there was in conversation with the AmaZulu traditional Prime Minister Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, and acknowledging the President's announcement that he recognizes King Misuzulu KaZwelithini as the king of the AmaZulu nation.